Hello, my name is Jeremy Bedford. I'm the owner of Bay Area Bedbug, and in this video I'm going to talk about what you should and what you should not do after a bedbug heat treatment. So first question we usually get is, when can I come home? So the simplest answer to this is approximately 2 hours after your treatment has been completed and the technician has either locked up and left is when it's safe to come home. Reason being is that it's still probably going to be over 100 degrees inside the house. Winter months maybe not so much, but summer months very likely still pretty warm, as well as the chemical has to dry. So we do apply a chemical to your baseboards, so that takes anywhere from an hour to 2 hours to dry, usually a little bit faster after a heat treatment because it's so warm inside, but you want to really give it that time so it's safe to go back inside. Now once you do arrive back home, first thing you're going to notice is that things have been moved around. So whether that be your furniture, your linens, your clothing, stuff's just not exactly in its original location. The reason for this is that the heat has to get moved into these other areas to be able to penetrate any cold spots. So your clothing, if you had a densely packed drawer, we may have to remove some of that. Same with closets, linen closets, couch cushions, mattresses. They may get moved around, and we do try to put them back into place best possible, with the exception of clothing and linens. We usually stack that up on furniture so it's out of the walkway. So just be ready for that when you come home. With all those items you see moved around, you're okay to put them back in the original location, or if it's clothing and linens, you can actually wash them as well. They are essentially treated, so you don't have to do the high heat method. Just standard laundering, however you would do it, is totally fine. Beyond that, you're okay to also plug back in your electronics if you had them unplugged. You can hang back up your vinyl blinds if those were also removed during the treatment. Once they're cooled down, they're not malleable anymore, so they're fine to go back in place. And then anything else that was removed, so things such as aerosol cans or other items, you can bring back into the home. Again, assuming this is under 100 degrees back in the house. If it's summer months and you have air conditioning, you can turn that on once it's below 100 degrees. Reason being is you don't want to damage the thermostat or any of the components in the AC, so giving it time to cool down naturally is overall a better method to do it. And opening windows is also okay. If you ask the technician to open them prior to him leaving, he may have already done so. If you did not ask him, he's likely to leave them closed up, just as typically what we do. So beyond that, here are some of the things not to do. The biggest one that we run into as far as questions is about the baseboards. So the spray we use on the baseboards works for about 30 days, and we apply it there so in case you had bugs in your walls, they'll come out, cross the spray, and die before reinfesting essentially. So the biggest don't do it kind of thing is mopping or deep cleaning your baseboards. Let it be just like it is. You can vacuum, you can sweep, and you can still mop the center of a room. Just stay away from the baseboards is the best recommendation. Beyond that, everything else is kind of like, life goes back to normal. If I had to say additional things you don't want to do is going to be bringing anything that, from an outside source that might have bed bugs still. Don't bring it back in the house. Make sure it's treated off site, whether it's bags of clothing, bags of linens, or other miscellaneous items. Just don't risk bringing bed bugs back in. Because if you do, then you're gonna have bed bugs again, and you'll see us over and over again. One more thing I wanted to add about is when you do come back home, if you were wearing clothes that had not already been laundered on high heat, make sure you're changing those before re-entering the house, because if you do happen to have a bed bug or a bed bug egg on that clothing and you go back inside, that bed bug will reinfest. So just one of those concerns. Make sure you change into freshly dried clothes before coming back home. If you did leave the house in freshly dried clothes that have been treated, you're okay, but that doesn't always happen just due to time constraints. So one thing to keep in mind. So that's pretty much it for the most part. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to our office, the 925-234-4554 number, or you can email us at office@thermalsolutionspc.com. Otherwise, again, thank you for hiring us. We're very grateful. You've given us the opportunity to treat your home, and we hopefully look forward to you guys living in a nice bedbug-free environment. All right, thanks again. Take care.